A big percentage of our time as Cisco networking professionals is going to be spent troubleshooting network issues. And instead of breaking into a sweat and panicking and trying this and that and the other thing, when we're facing an issue on the network, it would be so much better if we had a plan of action going in. And the great news is, Cisco gives us a structured troubleshooting model. That's what we want to talk about in this video, and in the other videos in this module, we'll be diving into the individual components of this model. To begin with, we want to clearly articulate, we want to clearly define the problem. The problem is not, the internet is broken. Have you ever heard that one? No, maybe the problem is, this particular PC cannot get to this specific website. And once we've clearly defined the problem, then we start to collect information around that problem. That might involve interviewing the end user that reported the issue. It might involve giving show commands or debug commands on our Cisco routers or switches. And once we collect the information, we analyze it. And some of the information we collect, we might not understand at the beginning. We might give a debug command and not know what some of these messages are in the debug output. We might have to do some research. But we go through and analyze the information, and then we start to eliminate things that just do not make sense. For example, maybe we have an issue that says the network is experiencing poor performance all the time. Well, as a potential cause, we could eliminate network load, because even during low network usage conditions, we still have this problem. We push aside things that do not make sense, and then we create a list of things that could explain the issue. We pick the most likely suspect. We propose a hypothesis. We say that, I think this is most likely what's going on. And then we test the hypothesis. And when we do that, we want to balance the urgency of fixing the issue right now versus the impact that our solution would have on the rest of the network. Maybe our solution is to reboot a router or to reboot a switch to fix this problem. Is the problem serious enough to do that right now and disrupt everybody else that's using this router or this switch? Or could it wait for a scheduled maintenance window? We need to balance urgency versus impact. And if our hypothesis turns out to be correct, fantastic. We can implement our solution, we solve the problem, and then we document what we did. And that document could help us later on if we run into a similar situation, or it could help our coworkers that are facing a similar situation. But sometimes our hypothesis is not correct. Not a big deal. We can simply go back and maybe gather additional information and propose another hypothesis until we eventually resolve the issue.